got a bolster, use a bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, just a cushion is fine. That's kind of all you need. So come onto your hands and knees. Have your fingers spread wide, your thumbs pointing towards each other and your elbow pits forwards. And then I just want you to just move all around, kind of wriggling your hips, your shoulders, your head, just letting everything move around. Noticing if anywhere is feeling particularly tense or tight or not happy, just moving around. And then from here, we're going to go into some shoulder circles. So if you're on all fours, you're still keeping on all fours, but can you circle your shoulders around? Think about your shoulder blades on your back. Can you get those guys circling around? And it feels weird when you do it on hands and knees. And can you circle them the other way? All right, from here, we're going to go into that downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, and then you're going to pike your bottom up towards the ceiling. And we're going to bend each knee in turn. So like pedaling your feet a little bit. Think about sticking your bottom up towards the ceiling. And just take some breaths here. So don't hold your breath here. And then from here, we're going to come forwards into a plank. So you're going to roll your hips forwards. I'm going to walk my hands a little bit further forward and come down into a plank position. From that plank, you're going to pike your bottom up into the air again, go back into your downward dog and pedal your feet. Let your head just hang when you're in that downward facing dog and look towards your toes. And then again, roll forwards into that plank. Nice strong plank. Don't let your shoulder blades collapse. Pike your bottom up towards the ceiling again. Pedal your feet. We're going to do one more. And again, come forwards into that plank position. Nice strong shoulders. Hold here. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pike your bottom back up to the ceiling, back into that downward facing dog. We're going to step one leg through to come into a lunge now. So can you step one leg through? And then you can drop your back knee. Andrew, if you want to keep your back knee lifted, you can, if it's your dodgy knee. But otherwise, you're going to drop that back knee down. And then we're going to bring our hips forward. So what I want you to notice is the position of this lower leg at the front. So if that leg is really close to you and your leg is kind of looking like mine is now, step it a bit further forwards so that you've got a bit of space to bring that back hip through. And you can do it with that back knee lifted if you wish. I like the knee down. And just hold here. Soften your face. Let your jaw relax. Take some deep breaths. Whatever lunge you're in, we're going to circle the head around now. So can you drop your chin towards your chest and draw a circle with your nose as you circle your head around? And then can you circle your head the other way? If it makes you go a bit dizzy, you can just keep your head still. We're just trying to release some tension through the neck. And then hold it there. All right, so we're going to circle our arm this time. So whichever leg is forwards, you're going to circle that arm. You're going to reach it forwards first. You're going to take it up towards the ceiling. You can let your head and your upper body follow it. Take it back behind you, sweep it down towards the floor and forwards. And we're going to do big circles here. So again, if you've got that back knee lifted, you can still do your lunge here, your circle here. Just doing what works for you. When you've done 5 circles in one direction, you're just going to reverse and go the other way. Big circles, stretching your arm. And when you've done 5 in each direction, bring your hand back down towards the floor. Again, let your hips sink through. A couple of breaths here. We're going to shift our weight back a little bit so that we can lift the front of this front foot. So just shift your hips back a little bit, and then can you keep your heel down, but lift the front of your foot? Just hold there. And then place that foot down, and we're going to rock our hips forwards and back a few times here. So you can make this movement as big or as small as you want. You can kind of fully straighten your front leg if you want and then bend it. Again, you're just playing around with the movement and seeing what feels okay for you. Exploring the movement. All right, we're going to go back into our downward dog again. So we're going to step that leg back onto all fours, tuck your toes under, press into your hands and pack your bottom up towards the ceiling again. And let's pedal our feet again here. And then again, we're going to come forwards into that plank. So roll your hips forwards, come down into that plank position, and then pack your bottom up towards the ceiling again, back into your downward dog, pedal your feet. Again, roll forwards into your plank and pack your bottom up to the ceiling, pedal. One last time, roll forwards into your plank. We're going to hold that plank, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pack your bottom back up to the ceiling. We're going to lunge on the other side this time. Can you step your other leg through? And again, you can keep the back knee lifted or down, up to you. And come forwards deep into that lunge. Notice the position of this front leg again. If it's too close to you and it feels horrible, step it forwards, give yourself more space. And can you allow your hips to sink forwards? If you feel like you can't breathe because it's right in your chest, take it out a little bit wider to the side. That's fine. As long as you're keeping your knee over your ankle, you're good. Soften your face, jaw. Take a couple of breaths. We're going to circle our head again here. We're going to do a little head circle. Just make it as big or as small as feels okay for you. So you're just trying to loosen off any tension and tightness that you're holding through your neck while holding that lunge position. When you've done 5 in one direction, can you reverse and go the other way? And again, if it makes you feel a bit dizzy, this isn't for you, you can hold your head still. When you've done 5 in each direction, we're going to do the arm circles again. Whichever leg is forwards, it's that same side arm reaches forwards first, reaches up towards the ceiling, reaches back behind you, sweeps down towards the floor and forwards. Let's do 5 in each direction. Really good. You've done 5 one way, reverse. Good job. When you've done 5 in each direction, you're going to again just come forwards, allow your body to just sink down. Couple of breaths. We're going to back our hips up a little bit so that we can lift the front of that front foot. The heel stays down, the toes lift. Hold it there. And then again, we're going to rock our weight forwards and backwards. Place that foot back down, let your hips come through, and then you can straighten that leg as much as you want to. Just again, playing around with your movement. How does it feel on this side? Just notice. All right, we're going to go back into that downward facing dog. So you're going to take that leg back onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, pack your bottom back up to the ceiling, back into your downward dog, pedal your feet again here. And then lifting both heels, we're going to bend and straighten our legs here. So bend your knees and straighten them. Let's do a few of those. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. And then just hold. Pike your bottom up to the ceiling. You're really thinking about sending your sit bones to the ceiling. Can you relax your thighs here? Can you relax the front of your thighs so that your kneecaps will drop? And if you can't, can you tense and then release your thighs? And you get some movement of those knees. Just to see whether you're using your hamstrings or your quads to hold you up, sir. All right, and then from here, we're going to lower the knees back down. Oh, and come off your hands. Just give your hands a little shake out. Circle your wrists around in both directions. And give your fingers a wriggle. That was a nice little warm up, wasn't it? I'm certainly warm now. We're going to go onto some side line work. So we're going to do the clam next. So come on down onto your side. And then just find a comfortable position for your head, whether you're resting on your bent arm or arm out straight. Knees are bent. And then have a check of your pelvis to make sure that you've got your hip bones stacked one on top of the other. So you've not got that top hip rolled back. Once you're happy with that position, you're going to keep your feet together and open out that top knee and close it down. So no movement of the pelvis, or as little movement as you can manage. Good. We're going to do 2 more like this. And then we're going to lift the whole top leg and we're going to really bend the knee to bring your heel as close to your bottom as you can. Keeping your heel close to your bottom, we're going to circle the leg around. So heel staying close to the bottom and we're circling that thigh bone in the hip socket. Yeah. And then we're going to reverse. Keep your heel close to your bottom. Last 2. Last one. Lowering your leg down for a moment, just to have a little breather, because we've got a little bit more to do. We're going to open out that top knee to the ceiling again, lift your foot as well, and we're going to turn that thigh in and out. So think about your thigh bone rolling in and then rolling out. All right, lower it down. Ooh, give it a little rub, give it a little pat. Oh, that's a lot of work. We've got more to do. We're going to stretch it out and then we're going to do a little bit more. So remember which side you're lying on, because we're going to come back onto the same side. Just come on up to seated. Half-time stretch. Bring that leg in towards you. Cross it over to the other side and sit as tall as you can. And then twist towards that bent leg using your front arm to pull it in towards you, scoop it in towards you. Little stretch. Going to have super strong lateral hips after this little series that we're doing. So this is enjoy your half-time stretch. It's only going to get worse from here. All right, so this is where we're going to use our cushion or our bolster, whatever you've got, and you're going to bring it to just in front of your mat. I'm going to go with my bolster because I've got it handy there. So we're going to go back onto our side again. Only this time we're going to have our arms out in front, so like your little crocodile arms. Now, if you need something under your head, feel free to grab a cushion or something to put under your head. I might use something there today. Okay, and then you've got your legs out long. I'm going to take a bit of shuffling to get this position right. And then that top leg, we're going to bring it forwards and you're going to rest it on your cushion or your bolster. So you might need to shuffle, get it forwards or backwards or wherever it needs to be so that you've got room and you can rest your foot on there. All right, and then we've got our crocodile arms. That bottom leg, I want you to reach it away from you, make it as long as you can and push out through your heel. So it's not just like a floppy dead leg, it's like really active. All right, we're going to lift and lower this top leg now. So you're going to lift the leg and lower it down. And it's not a big move. It doesn't have to be a very big move. You can make it little. Think about your pelvis as well, because if you make it really big, you're going to end up like your whole body rolling. And we want the body to stay still so that it's just the leg. Keep going. Two more. And then rest it down. Rest it for a moment. All right. We've got another evil exercise to do. So stay in the same position. I want you to take your top leg and can you tap it down behind your cushion or your bolster and then lift it up and over and tap it in front. up and over, tap behind, up and over, tap in front. Good. All right. And then lower that leg all the way down so it meets its friend down there. Oh, and just breathe a little sigh of relief. You get a little bit of a break because we've got more to do on that same side. Now, this time we're going to come up to all fours. So do that bit we've just done side to side if you don't want to go on all four. All right. And we're going to take that leg out to the side. We're going to do the same as we've just done, but in that all fours position. So this kneeling leg, if you need to bring it in a little bit more to center, you can, absolutely. Nice strong shoulders. Can you lift that leg up and over? Tap it in front, tap it behind. Ah, one more. And then take that leg out to the side. Can you get the sole of your foot down on the floor and then sit your bottom back towards your heel? And then rock forwards and backwards. So a little bit of a stretch now. Staying laying down, you can just take your leg out to the side like that when we do that inner thigh stretch. So you have one leg out long and the other leg just out to the side. All right, and then we're going to sit our bottom back as far as it will go and just stay here. Couple of breaths. All right, come forwards, bring it in. Now, the bad news is we've got to do all of that on the other side and you kind of know what's coming. So let's get started. So clam first, just a nice normal little clam first. So make sure that you are on the other side. You definitely don't want to be doing the whole series again on the same side. So feet together, knees together, and then find that nice stable pelvis. When you're ready, feet stay together and you open out that top knee. Try not to let your pelvis roll back. Good. Last two. Last one. All right, and then we lift that leg and we really bend it to bring the heel as close to your bottom as you can. And we do our little circles here. Keep your bottom and your heel close as you can. And then can you reverse that and go the other way? I'm not quite sure that I'm doing circles there. There's some kind of weird shape, but I'm not sure that it's a circle. All right. Hold it up, turn it out. Can you turn that thigh in and out? Last one. Lower it down. Just give it a little rub. Give it a little pat, whatever you need to do. Let's do our little stretch on this side before we go on to the rest of the torture. So again, the one we've just been working, bring it in, cross it over. Sit nice and tall and twist towards your bent knee. Little half-time stretch. All right. So now again, grab your bolster, your cushion, whatever you've got. Pop it in front of your mat again. Again, if you do need a cushion under your head, feel free. Stand on the same side. We've got our crocodile arms out in front. And we're going to rest our foot on our cushion or our bolster. Your bottom leg is out long. And again, pushing out through your heels. So you don't want that floppy leg. It's really active, that leg. All right, are we ready? We're going to lift and lower again, that top leg. Good job. And rest it down. Little breather. We're going to do it again, tapping in front and behind when you're ready. And always rest if you need to. Good job. Rest it down. Hold for a minute. So again, we're going to go on to all fours. If you don't want to go on to all fours, you can stay here and do a few more little taps there. Otherwise, onto all fours. Get your shoulders set up nice so that, again, you're not collapsing into your shoulders. We still want that strong upper body. Maybe bring your supporting knee in towards the center a little bit and then take your leg out to the side. When you're ready, up and over, up and over. Watch your balance. Watch your shoulders collapsing. Last one. Keep that leg out to the side. Get the sole of your foot down, and I take my knee back out to its own little channel. And then again, sit your bottom back towards your heels, rocking your weight forwards and backwards. And then sit your bottom back. Just go as far as you feel comfortable, getting a good stretch into your inner thigh. And again, if you did choose to lie on your front and do it, lie on your side and do it, so you can just take your leg out to the side into your inner thigh stretch that we do quite a lot. This is just a nice one for a change. All right, up and out of that, just come back down to seated for a minute and just get rid of your cushions, your bolsters, whatever you've used. I've got more. You'll be really pleased to know that I've got more. So we're going to go back onto the first side that we were on. So come back onto your first side. And if you can't remember, don't worry about it if they're both aching the same. So we're going to do a little bit of a forearm plank here. So we're going to lie on our side. Try and get your elbow under your shoulder and then legs out long. Okay, so we're going to see if we can. You can do this with knees bent if you want to. But if you're happy with a side plank, you're going to keep your legs straight. So feel free to kind of have a play and see. Can you lift your hips away from the floor and then lower them down? So if that's a bit of a struggle for you, you can have your knees bent and keep your knees down, and then it makes it a little bit easier. So find the plank that you're happy with, and then we're going to add on to it, all right? So we're going to come up, lifting your hips away from the floor. Whether your leg is bent or straight, you're going to lift that top leg, lower that top leg, and lower your hips down, okay? And then again, you're going to lift the leg, lower the hips. Keep going, whichever position you like. If you're struggling with the plank, just keep your legs out long and just do the side leg lift. There's always options for wherever you are. But if you're happy with your side plank, do one more time. It's kind of nice to play around with different variations on that as well. As you lower down this time, we're going to switch and do the same on the other side. Again, the knees bent or legs bent. I'm definitely keeping my legs bent on this side because this is my not happy shoulder. So you've always got to do what's right for you. And if you have one shoulder where you can't do it, don't do it. So just do a few little lifts first, just to make sure that you're happy before you add the leg, because the leg is just another layer of work. And then once you're happy with whichever plank you're doing, try doing the lift in the hips and then lifting the leg, lowering the leg, lowering the hips. And do a few here. Good, really nice. Should we do one more? Kind of feel like we're about even if we do one more. Roll onto your back for a moment. Bring your knees to your chest. Get your breath back, just have a little roll, a little rock side to side. All right. We're going to roll onto our front, and I want you to grab your cushion or your bolster again. So whatever you were using before, grab it again. And then lying on your front, it's going to go on the backs of your thighs. So above your knee, whatever you've got, can you get it just above your knees on the backs of your thighs? And that might just take a bit of shuffling around to get into position. And then from here, you can have your head resting down. I want you to anchor your pubic bone into the mat. So pubic bone anchored, tailbone slightly touched. And then you're just going to bend both knees to bring your heels close to your bottom. And the idea is that you just kind of squeeze into your cushion or your bolster, whatever you've got, and then lower the legs down. So we're trying to really activate your glutes and your hamstrings, so the bottom and the back of your thighs. So you can kind of play around with your feet. If you start getting cramped, you can maybe have pointed toes or flat feet, whichever. Just maybe moving them around will stop you from cramping up a little bit. Pulling in, really think about pulling your heels towards your bottom. Notice if your pubic bone is lifting away from the floor. Can you try and keep your pubic bone anchored as much as you can? All right, as you bend your knees and bring your feet close to your bottom this time, we're going to hold it. We're going to keep squeezing and we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release and lower your legs. And do that again. When you're ready, bend your knees, keep your pubic bone anchored, pull your heels towards your bottom and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. One more time. Pull your heels towards your bottom. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Get rid of your cushion, your bolster, whatever you've got. Push yourself up and back into that child's pose, just to give your back a little stretch out. Take a few breaths. Good. All right, we're going to come back up onto all fours. Okay. And if your legs and arms will take it, we're going to come up into a plank position. So let's get our upper body set really well. So fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other, elbow pits forwards, making sure that your shoulder blades aren't collapsing in towards your spine. You want your shoulder blades nice and wide. And we're going to step one leg back, tuck your toes under, step that other leg back, tuck your toes under, and can you hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend one knee in, bend the other knee in. Hold it here. We're going to do that again. When you're ready, again, we're going to step one leg back, tuck your toes under, step the other leg back, tuck your toes under, maintain those nice stable shoulders and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend one knee in, bend the other knee in. Just come off your wrists for a minute. We are going to go back to that in a moment. Well, let's just give our hands a little shake out. Maybe twirl your hands around in each direction. Okay. If you feel really happy in that plank position, we're going to add on to it. If you're finding that it's hard work and just doing the plank is enough, then just keep practicing the plank and coming in and out of it as you like, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to go back into the plank and then we're going to step one leg out to the side and bring it back in and then do the same on the other side. We'll do it. We'll do it together. And you've always got the option of your normal plank. So fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other, elbow pits forwards. Nice stable shoulders. Tuck your toes under as you take one leg back and the other leg back. So we're in that plank position. Now we're going to take one leg out to the side and just tap it down and bring it back in. Tap the other leg out to the side, bring it back in. Just keep switching sides. Take the leg out, tap the toes, bring it in. Watch those shoulders. Make sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders. Can you do one more to each side? Kick the floor and then bend one knee in, bend the other knee in. Come off those wrists. Give them a little shake. Shake, shake, shake. Bring your elbow into your side. Turn your hand over. Palm faces up. Use your other hand to give your fingers a stretch. Whew. As you're pulling your fingers down, reach your thumb as far away from you as you can. Let's circle that thumb. Circle it the other way. Good. And then gently pull each finger and turn back. Give your fingers a really good stretch. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Give that hand a little wriggle. Bring your elbow in, palm faces up. Use your hand again to pull the fingers back. Reach your thumb as far out to the side as you can. And let's circle that thumb around. Do big circles. And circle the other way. Stretch. And then gently again, pull each finger and turn back. Give them a good stretch, a good wriggle. All right, we're going to go onto our back now. So come down onto your back. And let's go into windscreen wipers. So take your feet and knees wide to the outside edges of your mat. Take your arms out to that T position, palms facing up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, you're going to let both knees roll to one side. Bringing those knees back in through center and over to the other side. Just go at your own speed. This feels good to you. See if you can keep your rib cage anchored and just let your pelvis twist side to side. So think about a twist through your waist. Good. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Reach your hands through your knees. Can you grab your ankles and let your knees open wide to the side? So you're kind of in a butterfly stretch or like a little cobbler stretch here. So you can kind of have the soles of your feet together if you want, or just the sides of your feet, doesn't matter. But opening your knees out to the side and holding onto your ankles. You take a few breaths here. Good. All right, we're going to go into our happy baby from here. So release one leg and let that leg come back down onto the floor. The leg that you've still got a hold of, we're going to bring it up towards us. So you're going to bring your knee kind of towards your armpit and have the sole of your foot reaching up towards the ceiling. Can you get your shin as vertical as you can? Now you can hold behind your knee, you can hold your ankle, or if you can reach, you can hold the outside edge of your foot. See where it feels that's okay for you. And then as we do with this happy baby position, notice if you've had to really tilt your pelvis towards you and is your bottom kind of lifting off the floor to get here. And if it is, can you start trying to anchor your pelvis down, trying to find a more neutral pelvis, trying to bring your hip bones and pubic bone onto the same level. Now you might not get there today and that's absolutely fine, but just know that that's where you're trying to head to. If you feel like you can't breathe, this knee is crushing your chest, take it out a little bit wider to the side. Just make sure that you're keeping your ankle over your knee. So you don't want your foot in and your knee out to the side. That's just a different stretch. If you want to, you can give the back of your thigh a little rub. So just give that hamstring area a little bit of attention while it's here. And just keep taking some deep breaths. The nasty stuff's done now. It's just kind of nice now, she says. All right, we're going to let that leg go. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So bring that other leg in, bring your knee towards your chest, and then sole of the foot towards the ceiling, trying to get your shin as vertical as possible. And again, either hold behind your knee, you can hold your ankle, or the outside edge of your foot, whichever feels best for you. Again, have you had to tilt your pelvis and lift your bottom to get here? Can you start to try and find that more neutral pelvis? If you need to take your knee out and your foot out to the side, you can do that too. Taking some deep breaths. How's that hamstring on this side? Does it need a little bit of attention? Does it need a little massage? Just trying to release any tightness, any knots there. So I like multitasking, so while you're here doing this happy baby or this half happy baby, it's kind of nice to give your hamstring a little bit of attention. How about if we do both legs together? It might be a step too far, but can you bring that other leg up? Can you get both legs up towards the ceiling. Can you get the soles of the feet flat? Can you get your shins vertical? And then has your bottom lifted off the floor? Can you try and again find a more neutral pelvis? And the answer might be no. That's okay. But just know that that's where you're heading to. Couple more breaths here. Check your jaw. Are you clenching your teeth? Can you soften the muscles of your face, your neck and shoulders? Couple more deep breaths. Take a really deep breath in. Fully exhale. Again, really deep breath. Long, slow inhale. And exhale. Let it all go. Release those legs down towards the floor. Let's go into our little cobbler here. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. So we're still in that kind of butterfly cobbler stretch position. And just take a couple of breaths here. We're going to bring those legs back up. So feet and knees are hip width apart. Going into your number 4 stretch now. So you're going to bring one leg up, cross your ankle over your knee, excuse me, and try and get that knee to really open out to the side. So notice if it's really wanting to point to your face. Can you send that knee away from you? And just hold here for a few breaths. And then either keeping the leg down on the floor or floating that standing leg up towards you. You can choose to hold behind that standing thigh just to give you a little bit of support, or you can just hold it there using the muscles of your legs. And take some deep breaths. All right. So if you've got your legs up, you're going to release that standing leg back down onto the floor, but keep that leg coming across. We're going to roll to bring the sole of our foot down onto the floor. So rolling onto your side to bring the sole of that foot down onto the floor. So now you'll notice that your rib cage has kind of come with you. Can you start to roll your rib cage back? So you're trying to lay back onto your shoulder blades, getting the back of the rib cage down towards the mat while your lower body is in this twisted position. Again, this is another exercise that makes you excellent at twister. And then just take some deep breaths here. So just go as far as feels okay for you. And if you need to come out of it, then absolutely do. Otherwise, can you let your ribs relax? Can you take a couple of deep breaths? Where's that knee gone? Has that knee started to drop towards your face? Can you send that knee, excuse me, so it's pointing up towards the ceiling? Couple more breaths. And then we're going to roll back onto our back again. We're going to bring the legs up. Feel free to use your elbow if you want to help bring you back into center, and then uncross your legs. We're going to cross over the other way this time. So crossing your other ankle over your knee. And again, notice where this knee is. Is it coming towards your face? Can you open it out towards the side? Keeping length through both sides of your waist. Take a couple of breaths here. Seeing how it feels on this side. And again, you can either choose to keep your leg down on the floor, or you can float that standing leg up. And you can hold behind your thigh if you wish, or you can just hold it there using the strength of your legs. Keep opening this knee out to the side. Don't let it collapse in towards you. Couple more breaths here. And then again, lowering your standing leg back down onto the floor, keeping that number 4 stretch. You're going to again roll onto your side, bringing the sole of the foot down onto the floor. Keeping the sole of the foot down onto the floor again. Do you want to start to roll your upper body back down into the mat? Just go as far as feels okay for you. As long as you can still breathe and you can still talk, you're probably okay. Notice that knee as it dropped down towards the floor. Can you keep that knee pointing up towards the ceiling? Take a few breaths, check your jaw, neck and shoulders. Where are your ribs? A few more breaths here. I really like this stretch. It just kind of feels like it's really getting deep into those hips. All right. We're going to roll back onto our back again. You can use your elbow to help bring you back in through center. Uncross your legs. Pull your knees into your chest and just rock gently side to side. One hand onto the top of each knee as you open the knees wide and circle around. And then reverse, go the other way. Good, all right. Going to release your feet down onto the floor. We're going to have feet and knees together for spine twist, arms out to the side. Take a breath, and as you exhale, let both knees roll to one side. Inhale as you come through center, exhale over to the other side. Let's just do a few here. Just moving at your own speed and as far as feels okay for you. Then we're going to come up to seated. Take your time, but come on up to seated. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together here. So going into your little cobbler or butterfly stretch here. See if you can try and find a neutral pelvis. So notice whether your tailbone's tucked under and you're all rounded. Can you try and find that upright pelvis so that you're sitting on your sit bones? And feel free to grab your bolster or your cushion or something and pop it under you if you need a little bit more space. We've got that upright pelvis. We're going to start to lean slightly forward. So getting deep into those hips as you lean slightly forwards. Don't lead with your rib cage. So if you're starting to feel it in your lower back, chances are you're pushing your ribs forward. So keep those ribs pulled in and come forward. Think about coming forward from your hip. And maybe it feels nice to just gently shift side to side. Feels nice. You like how I said that? Maybe it feels nice. It doesn't feel nice. Shift side to side. All right, we're going to take our legs wide this time. So legs out wide. Then you can always grab something to sit on if you need to. Can you find your sit bones here? Can you push that through your heels and pull the front of your foot towards you? Pull your toes towards you, lengthening the backs of your legs. Again, can you get that upright pelvis? And can you start to lean forwards a little bit here? Watch those ribs. So we're not leading with the ribs. You can have your hands wherever feels good to you. You can hold onto your legs. You can hold onto the floor. Try and take some deep breaths and find as much kind of softness here as you can. So you don't want to be like gripping on for dear life and everything in your body is rigid and it just feels terrible. You want to just try and be as loose and as relaxed as you can. Look at your feet and notice whether they've kind of pointed and gone all floppy. And if they have, keep pulling the front of the foot towards you, pressing your heel away. Think about length through the back of your leg. And then come back up. Bring your feet together. Again, can you find that neutral pelvis? Really tricky in this position. See if you can find those sit bones. Can you again push out through your heels, pulling the front of the foot towards you? And can you lean forwards here? Again, hands just wherever. I have to keep checking those ribs. Those ribs really want to lead. Taking deep breaths, check your jaw, neck and shoulders. Let your head hang here, in fact. That's a really good thing to do here. You're pushing out through your heels, pulling the front of the foot towards you, letting your head hang, let your shoulders relax. Couple of breaths. Slowly come up and out of that. We're going to go into our little 90-90 legs now. So you're going to have one leg bent in front, 90 degrees, one leg bent behind, 90 degrees-ish. Use your hands to begin with just to see how your hips are doing. They've done a lot of work. But lean back onto your hands, pivot onto the soles of your feet, and then allow your legs to roll the other way. So you've got one leg rolled in, one leg rolled out. And again, go the other way. So you can use your hands as much as you need to. But if you don't need your hands, don't use them. Can you do it without your hands? Kind of walking around the room a little bit. Go back into your child's pose now. So take your knees super wide and sit your bottom back towards your heels and just reach forwards into your child's pose. So when you take your knees super wide, you're going to get a little bit deeper into your hips. All right, and then bringing your knees back in closer to each other again. We're going to go into our downward dog plank thing again. So come back onto all fours. Get your set up nice again. Fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits forwards. Tuck your toes under and pike your bottom up towards the ceiling. Find that downward facing dog position. Again, let's pedal the feet here. Bending one knee at a time. Let your head hang here. Looking towards your toes. Just puts your neck in a really nice position. From here, we're going to go into our plank. So you're going to roll your hips forwards. Find that nice stable plank position, shoulder blades nice and wide. And then pike your bottom up towards the ceiling again, pedal your feet. Rolling forwards into your plank again. Nice, strong, stable shoulders. One last time, pike your bottom up towards the ceiling into your downward facing dog, pedal. Now this time, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. So can you start to walk your feet towards your hands? And then we're just going to hang in this forward fold position. So let your head hang, let your arms hang. You can touch the floor if you want to, or just have your arms hanging. And you soften your knees a little bit. Get your weight back through your heels. Nod your head like you're saying yes. Shake your head side to side like you're saying no. Nice and relaxed. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to start to slowly start to roll yourself up. We're going to open the arms out. As we inhale, we're going to open the arms out, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, bring your hands together, look towards your thumbs. And exhale, release your arms, circle them down towards the floor. Do that again. Inhale, reach, stretching up towards the ceiling, looking up towards your thumbs. And as you exhale, release. We're going to add a heel raise. As you open your arms out, float up onto the balls of your feet. Reach. And exhale, lower your heels, lower your hands. Can you do two more like that? You don't have to look up towards the ceiling if it makes you lose your balance like I just did. You can just look forwards. And let's do one more time. And release. Super floppy arms. Just allow your body to gently twist side to side. Take your feet wide. Shift your hips side to side. Hinging forwards from your hips, shift side to side. Again, just really nice little stretch into your hips. All right, guys. You're done.